Ira Epstein with your Morning Flash Update. And this update is for Tuesday, the 25th of July, 2023. And the time right now, well, we're at 8:20 a.m. Central Time. So as we sit here, remember, we are in the heart of the earnings season. Company after company reporting. We get Alphabet and Microsoft after the close today. We've been getting 3M, other companies all the way through this morning. So it's just going to be constant day in and day out. Also, don't forget, we have the FOMC meeting, begins today, ends tomorrow, 1 o'clock we get the policy statement, 1:30 the press conference. European Central Bank then follows that up on Thursday. Bank of Japan follows that up on Friday, and then we get the Bank of England coming on board. So you have a lot going on. Now, as you can see, the stock market mix. Now, the question in the cash market of the Dow, not futures, I want to be clear, is could it be 12 days in a row up for that? That's what people are looking at. And that would be what, 2.25 weeks? Wow, 2.25 weeks straight up. That's pretty impressive. You've stalled out a little bit in the energies right here. It's time that we'll be moving now. I should have done it already, to the October Brent and to the September nat gas. Look for me to do that right after this. I'm going to save it. I also think in Bitcoin, you can start looking at the August now. It's time to do that. In the gold market, I want you to move to the December. We'll leave that good. Bye-bye. Had fun with that. Why is copper up so much? Because the market has made a decision. Yesterday, we were talking about the Politburo, and I think it's 21 members in China of the Communist Party get together and they set what they're going to do. This is not the conference where thousands of people attend. And what they did is they started looking at property in a major way, and they set a broad swath of what they want to do. They didn't give particulars. But as those particulars start leaking, you can look for this copper market to come alive. This is not a market I would think you want to be short anymore. I'm thinking that the 370s, 380 area, right in there is the bottom of this on this particular go-round, unless there's a total disappointment on what China does. I'm not seeing that coming about. When we take a look over here, today's data, Red Book sales, again negative in the first 3 weeks of July and in the week ending July 22 versus a year ago. So this is the second week in a row where absolute negative numbers. That's important. That tells you that the sales, as much as we hear on other parts, when you're starting to look this way versus those first part of a month, and remember, the kids going back to school hasn't kicked in. That'll kick in August more than anything. Case-Shiller, when we look at the home prices, down 1.7% from the year ago month. They expected it down 1.6%. Month over month, though, up. So now we're starting to see where the market's wobbling like that. Don't look for the home market to crash. Not going to happen. You don't have enough supply. The home builders are coming out with their earnings. What was it, Pulte? Over the top. I mean, just looking strong as can be. We get the Richmond Fed with their monthly manufacturing sector index. That's going to come out at 9. The Conference Board's consumer confidence, well, that's going to come out shortly. We have the, as I said, the FOMC meeting, and this afternoon the API numbers are another thing that you will get, and we'll see what the energies look like. In the grain markets, wildness. Why? Because what's been going on is Russia has been systematically destroying the ports in Ukraine. Now, first they were hitting the Black Sea ports. This week they began hitting the ports on the Danube. And as they're hitting those, now the question is, what do you do with that? I predict next they'll hit the highways, they'll hit the railways. They're going to try to just crush Ukraine that way. At the same time, you're getting balking. It's only July, and a deal ends September 15th. But there are 5 European countries that are saying they do not want to end where Ukraine can get their grain into their countries. It can get there for shipment, but not to be sold because it hurts the domestic markets. Now, let's face it, that's a real problem. Another problem that's going to face the world will be, will the farmers be able to plant next year? I know it's this harvest, But you got to start thinking, a war-ravaged country, no way to get your grain out of it is a possibility. What do? If I'm Africa and other countries, I got to be looking at the people that came in and invested in my country, Russia, and saying, what are you doing? You're starving us now. And Russia, of course, is going to say, no, we'll make sure you get all the grain you need. It'll be Russian grain. You don't need that Ukraine grain. And that's what you're going to hear with all that. In the currency markets, expect wobbling over the next 48 hours. Why? What's the Fed going to do? What are they going to say is as important as what they do? I think the market knows they're going with a 25 basis point hike, same with the European Central Bank. But what do they say is what the market is waiting for. Will there be a misstep one way or the other? You know, and ways you keep up with that, with us at least, is if you have yourself a retail brokerage account. Now, what do I mean by retail? It means you're talking to somebody, you're looking for some help, you're getting help one way or the other in the marketplace. And that's what we try to do. If you want information on that and our free offers, just click up here at any point. You'll see an icon. Go to our website at iraepstein.com. All your questions are answered there. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you this evening with your wrap-up of all the markets. You have a good trading day.